You want it? We have it. The hottest mortgage and real estate strategy broadcast in the nation. A Smarter Way Home with your host, Danielle Boote and Victor Bals. 50 years combined experience, ranked in the top 1% in the nation for home loan originations 2020. Promise to expand your knowledge, utilizing creative mortgage financing and home buying strategies. Build a bridge for a better quality of life. Get your brain cells firing for a smarter way home. And welcome to another episode of A Smarter Way Home. I am Victor Bals, your host, loan officer, over 20 years, and we like to talk about modern mortgage solutions and home buying strategies in today's market. And my hostess with the mostest is back from her journey, and we have a lot to talk about. I'd like to welcome Mrs. Danielle Boote. Good morning.
Good morning, Victor. How are you?
I am pretty good. It's going to be 90 degrees here in Detroit today. And it's
that's better than 20 below.
Yeah.
I know everybody complains about the heat, but I'm not complaining because we don't have to shovel it.
Yeah, but also we were talking about temperatures yesterday, and you talked about, where you were at was near 100 degrees.
It was, I was in St. Louis for a couple days visiting our corporate office, and they're in the Plain States are in the middle of a heat wave, much hotter down there than it is up here.
So let's talk about St. Louis. Let's talk about USA Mortgage. Let's talk about the journey. You know, you and I have been together now. Well, we've known each other 15, 18 years, and we've been working together for about 3 years. And we've kind of have talked about a legacy and kind of creating a legacy. But let's talk about the journey you were at, and let's work our way backwards. Where were you at and why?
I was at the corporate headquarters of USA Mortgage. DAS Acquisitions is the name of our parent company. We are onboarding our operations manager. So we flew down there to meet and greet people and to dive into some of the new processes that we are working on and to get her up and running so she can support the office.
You know, it's funny because as we've been doing the research on this company, as we decided to make a move over to this company, there's some good stuff there that we didn't even realize that we're falling upon and starting to learn about that is actually very good. So who is USA Mortgage? Why did we make a move to them?
Well, it's never easy to make a move in the mortgage industry, and it's certainly not something that we normally do in the middle of the year when it is what we call our busy season. But there was an opportunity in front of us that attracted me, and then I brought it to you and some of the rest of our staff and said, look, you know, there's other angles out there. There's things that we felt we were missing that we needed to give our clients.
Okay, and what are some of the things that we're missing that we now have available for our clients and actually our realtor partners and builder partners?
Well, from a loan program standpoint, we now have access to bridge loan financing, which will allow our buyers that have homes with a lot of equity to potentially buy a new home before they sell and be able to tap some of that equity to make the transition seamless to their new home.
And I know that is very powerful in today's very competitive market because
Yes.
the lack of inventory, people don't want to sell their home and then try to find one because they may find themselves homeless.
Right. And, you know, it's a very unique product that most independent mortgage bankers do not have. Most banks do not have it. You know, everybody puts a little bit different spin on it, but what USA has, I think, is very unique and is very timely in the market. So that is something that, you know, already we've seen a great deal of success with.
And I understand you're closing one of the bridge loans here tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got my first bridge loan closing tomorrow. The purchase transaction for their new home will be next week. And I have another one we have another one in process too. Okay. And it's not the only one at the branch level.
So let's talk about that bridge loan a little bit. So you can take out the equity. Can you pay off old home equity line? Can you pay off credit? Explain some of the dynamics and some of the fundamentals or the advantages that we can utilize this bridge loan for.
So we will allow a homeowner to borrow up to 85% of the current value of their current home. We will use that equity, can be used as a down payment and closing cost on the new home. If they already have a second mortgage, we can pay that off. And sometimes we'll even pay off the first mortgage if it makes sense to.
And when would it make sense to pay off a first and a second mortgage?
It would depend. The interest, we'd look at the interest rate of their current home, their current loan. If they had a problem qualifying for both homes and the bridge loan together, sometimes paying off the first mortgage could make sense. And the bridge loan is very short-term financing, 90 to 180 days, so 3 to 6 months. You know, the goal is obviously for our clients to get their existing home on the market with a realtor as quickly as possible so that they really probably don't ever even make 2 house payments. Okay. But we're seeing clients with significant equity in their current homes. So we can get creative and say, okay, like I have one of my clients that is utilizing this program. They're buying a bigger home for their family, but they're going to use some of the equity to clean up some debt that they want to get rid of.
So you can pay off debts, credit cards, cars, student loans with part of that bridge so they can now eliminate those payments and qualify for more of a home.
Right.
Okay.
And they'll still have a nice down payment on the new home, things of that nature, but it makes it seamless. My client also, they have a large family, so the house that they have to sell, they got a few little to-do lists that they want to take care of.
Patch up the walls with all the kids and paint.
Yeah. So the bridge loan is going to give them financial security, so they'll be able to close on the new home. They'll have equity out of their existing home so that as they move, they can get a painter in there, they can put in fresh carpet, whatever they need to do.
And they can also take enough money to make those fixes on their current home and carry 1 or 2 house payments too while they fix up the home to sell.
They can put cash reserves in their pocket because it's their equity. Mm-hmm. It's a short-term situation.
So now one of the features on that bridge loan, versus a traditional loan is principal and interest, but by utilizing the bridge loan, that has an interest-only feature, which really lowers that payment significantly.
Because it's short term. You're not worried about paying down principal. And we will require that they list the home with a realtor. We will not allow them to do this program in a for sale by owner situation.
Okay, and so that's one of the good elements that USA offers. And I know the cost is very cost-friendly, too. I believe that if you were to take out, let's say $100,000, they charge you 1% or $1,000 to originate that loan on there. That is pretty cheap. Mm-hmm. That is absolutely excellent.
Yeah, so it's a very, very competitive product out there.
Okay, so that's helping you help your clients who want to buy first, then sell.
And this is typically buyers. Here, my clients that are doing it right now, they've been in their homes for 10 to 15 years. They have considerable equity, but they have a family, and they're upsizing, right? Mm-hmm. We also can use this when somebody's downsizing. Maybe they've got other houses free and clear or almost free and clear, and they are looking to go from a home to a condo, something of that nature. There are buyers that can buy without selling and still have the assets to do so, but not everybody does. So some of these families are young families with still school-age kids, but if you have, in our market, it's not uncommon for people that have been in their homes, 5 to 10 years to have anywhere from $100,000 worth of equity, $200,000 worth of equity. Most consumers can't come up with that kind of money without selling the asset.
Absolutely. So now, I guess another tool that can go along with our bridge loan, it's amazing tool, is the U.S. Advantage loan or the pre-approval.
Yes.
Could you explain the elements or the features of how that works and how that could be used with the bridge loan?
Yes. So the USA Advantage program is a cash offer approval that we can give to our clients. It is for conventional loans only. They got to have good to excellent credit and put a minimum of 10% down. What we will actually do with that offer is get all of their income and asset docs in. We will underwrite the file. Okay. It goes directly to an underwriter, and the underwriter will approve the loan. And instead of giving them a pre-approval, we give them a cash offer letter that states we are going to back their offer as cash. They can actually write the purchase agreement as cash. And that has also been a really awesome tool. for some of our buyers to stand out in a multiple bid situation. We have used this several times. The first one that I closed, we had client contacted me on a Friday, got me all the documentation by Friday night. I had it underwritten Saturday morning. They wrote an offer, had it accepted by Monday. I was clear to close the following Sunday.
Wow.
So 6 calendar days I had this file clear to close.
That is unbelievable.
And the intent of the cash offer is, yes, as a company, we're going to back these clients with cash, but our intent is to just close their loan as fast as they need it.
Yeah, so we still have a underlying mortgage that we're going to work in the background, but we believe so highly in that client that if we don't make that closing date, we will come in and pay cash with our money.
Correct. And not every seller needs to close that fast. So, we can get loans clear to close very quickly without a problem. And it's fully disclosed. It's a unique letter. We explain it to the buyer's agent. We explain it to the listing agent, so all parties are aware. But it stands out if we're going to show up with a check if necessary.
Yeah, and that pre-approval or that certificate that is signed by the actual underwriter.
Correct. It does not have a loan officer's name on it at all. And there's no charge to participate in that program. But these are very motivated buyers that are willing to provide all of their income and asset documentation. And as you mentioned, we can use the USA Advantage with a bridge loan. So
give me that situation. How would that work out?
So let's say the client is putting 10 or 20% down and they have a house to sell. We can still do a bridge loan on their existing home.
To pull out the money for the 20%
the 20% down and then give them the cash offer letter so that they're competitive in a multi-bid situation.
Wow, that is unbelievable.
It
That is one of the coolest, creative,
yes. Now we have
sensible.
I have heard of other programs similar to this nationwide. So there are other cash offer programs, but everything that I've heard about nationwide is a third-party company that will basically front cash, buy the house, sometimes even hold the title in the company's name, and then the buyer just basically buys the property back from this third-party company. Which
I understand there's some fees involved in that too.
Yeah, everything that I've heard will say 1% to 3% in fees.
Wow, so on a $300,000 purchase, that
It could cost you $9,000.
$9,000.
Yeah, and I don't think, I have not heard of anybody doing that really strongly in our market. I've heard about it in other states, but to me, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And, USA has come up with a very unique strategy that has proven to be very successful, and we're bringing this into our market and qualifying buyers. Like I have a client that we're getting ready on this program right now, and they've been looking for homes for about 2 years. And have had some problems, and they're very strong buyers. So we're going to be able to put them on this program and hopefully help them find their forever home.
Oh, yeah. Well, you will. Yeah, you always do.
Usually, yeah.
Okay, so that's just some of the product that USA has. But let's gear this a little bit more towards our realtor and builder partners on how USA Mortgage can help us develop and build stronger relationships with our partners. Can you talk about the USA marketing department?
Absolutely. So one of the unique features of our company is that we have a marketing platform that we can co-brand and share with realtors, which includes a CRM system and a robust print department. The print department in St. Louis prints 500,000 pieces of printed material every single month. It can be postcards, open house flyers, door hangers,
listing presentations,
mailings, the every door direct type mailings. And everything is compliant. Costs are shared per federal regulations, but we do it in a very cost-effective and efficient manner. In fact, not only does our branch have a direct marketing person that we deal with, but all of our realtor partners, builders, it could be anybody. It could be a CPA, a financial advisor. The information is available to everyone out there. That we co-market with.
You know, it's funny because, you know, I was just, I met with 11 realtors yesterday, and we were going through the every door direct mailing, and we showed them some of the samples on how quickly it was to find a mail route and say, you know what, and this mail route has, if someone wanted to go after people over 55 years old because they potentially may want to downsize or they're looking for retirement, and you can actually see the percentage of people in that demographic pick that mail route, pick that postcard, and all within 60, 70 seconds, you're able to get a quote on how many pieces, and then our company actually does all the printing, ships it directly to our branch at no cost, or we'll ship it to the real estate broker branch at a split cost between us loan officers and the realtor. And it's just that we just take the box and drop it off. All the directions are in there, drop it off at the mailbox.
So we had a great success story recently with a realtor that took advantage of this with one of our loan officers. And we did a just sold, just pending postcard. So one particular realtor is farming a neighborhood she lives in, which is very common. And we did 2,500 postcards. She mailed them out to her whole neighborhood and the surrounding areas. And within days, she got 2 phone calls for a potential listing.
Wow. Yeah. That's creating, it's creating a brand and name recognition.
Exactly.
I had a young lady, a new realtor in the business, and she went ahead and took advantage of the marketing department and the EDDM and mailed out postcards to a particular mail route. But she actually worked with the USA marketing rep, Logan, and they mapped out her 12-month program.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got all the cost, everything's figured, what postcards are going out into what demographics, what mail routes, and she's already pre-planned for 1 year. So I see us going back. This is a very, I guess, challenging market right now, and I see old school ways of doing business are coming back.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, that's now, not only is it exciting for our loan officers, but it's really exciting to be able to share this with our referral partners and teammates.
Absolutely. Now, we were just talking old school, but now we talk new school because USA uses a CRM platform, and that CRM platform, we are able to offer that to our agent partners at no cost. So they get a very unique CRM system where they can upload their contacts. And first, I must mention, we as individual loan officers we cannot access the realtor account, nor can our company access that account. It is strictly for the realtors to build their business, create mail campaigns, do all their direct marketing, and really just have a wonderful tool to keep in front of their current and past clients. It is absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
And now, not to mention, what is the other one with the app? We have the app. How does that help the realtor, and how does all this integrate?
Well, USA Mortgage has kind of taken the technology for being, let's call it a mid-sized mortgage banker. They have been able to harness the technology of that any lender needs. We have a very robust app that we can share with our clients. We can co-brand it with our realtor partners, but it gives a secure platform for the consumer to interface with us, get us their documents and things of that nature. So, the technology platform that we have is really everything that you could ever imagine, and it fully integrates with all of our back-end systems, which makes our lives a little easier.
And when you say the app, that we share the app, so just to explain a little bit, us loan officers will co-brand with Agent Abby, let's just say Agent Abby. And now this app is not our app, it's actually Agent Abby's app because it has her picture and we're just the co-branded lender on there. So the agent can now share this app with all their potential prospects via text, via email, or whatever. And as soon as that client downloads the app, they see it's, Abby Agent's app. And on this app, the borrower or the buyer is able to apply for their loan through the app, and it's right on your mobile phone there. They can upload their documents into a secure portal, and that agent is notified when the client downloads and installs the app, when they've done their loan application, and it also will give the agent and the borrower milestone updates that such as submitted to underwriting, clear to close, appraisal ordered, and all that. So it keeps the agent's clients up to date at all times. It's also got a great mortgage calculator on there where it can calculate principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and PMI insurance. Right. And you can actually save each one of those calculations so you can get an idea of that house on 1-2 any street could compare that to 1-2-3 Wow Street, right, or whatever, and save those. So I see it as a very, very powerful tool.
Absolutely.
And when it's all integrating together, it's just a technology platform, yet new, but yet old school,
right?
In a sense, So I see it as a powerful tool. We see a lot of agents gravitating towards that technology. Let's talk about the legacy here. So where are you seeing us going over the next 5 years?
Well, my goal is to continue to grow the region and the footprint that we have started here in Michigan and in Livingston County. You and I have had some long discussions about this, and our goal is to bring aboard additional loan officers, grow additional branches. The sky's the limit. We can grow in 49 states if we really wanted to. I have my eyes set on Florida someday because I'm ready to be a snowbird in the near future.
Well, and the very new, because you showed me pictures of your a seawall being put up yesterday.
Yeah, we own a piece of vacant land in Florida.
So you got a seawall. You can go down there with a tent and a seawall.
Yeah. I'm sure the neighbors would love it. So we're looking at growing. I mean, one of the awesome things about this company is that it is considered an employee-owned company. We have an IRS designation called an ESOP. It's Employee Stock Ownership Program. So every employee of our branch or the company earns stock shares every single year. That is a long-term, obviously, strategy of money that we can use someday when we retire. But we've never had an opportunity like that in my 33 years in the mortgage business. We're lucky if we get a 401k match at all. So in addition to our employees earning an employee 401k match, automatically, if they participate in that program, they're going to earn stock, which will add up to something down the road that we've never been able to participate in.
Because pensions are a thing of the past. So, we as loan officers and realtors, we're all self-funded pensions. Yeah. So having the employee being part owner, that's going to help build that retirement over long term. It does.
And you know what? It's been very interesting as we've journeyed from the beginning, right, with this company, to see people's attitudes and actually going to St. Louis. Everyone, you walk in and that this is an employee-owned company, right? There's signs on the wall. Their main conference room is called the ESOP conference room, and they've got beautiful lettering right on the doors. And, everybody from the person that greets you at the front desk is an owner in this company in some way, shape, or fashion, and they know it. And it just infuses this positive energy in support system that everybody is vested in every employee, and everybody is invested in every loan and every client that we are graced to be able to help.
Well, what I also see is everybody is very cost conscious on the spending, and everybody inputs on how could we be more efficient.
Correct.
Because that affects the bottom line, but also makes our customer experience go through the roof. It just makes it better for our clients.
Yes. So we're really excited about that. And that is something that, we'll all, as new employees, we'll see how that unfolds for us in the next 6 months. But, it's something to at least offer potential recruits to say, hey, what we have is different. And again, it was not an easy decision to make, was not a decision that I thought we would make if you would have asked me in January, but we're excited about it. And the fact that we have gotten so much traction on the bridge loan program, the USA Advantage program, that lets me know that we made the right decision.
And we're making a dent out there.
Yeah, because the market is always shifting, and if we're not in front of it, we're behind it.
Well, and that's the one good thing about USA Mortgage. When they see a shift in the market, they're very proactive in trying to adopt or develop a product that will help ourselves, our clients, and our agents, which is just
Absolutely.
very proactive. That's that employee-owned mentality.
Absolutely. Yeah, we do also have construction loans,
Yes.
vacant land loans, and renovation loans, which I think are also going to be a bigger part of the market moving forward. You and I both have always been very strong in government lending. That is also going to be a bigger part of the market. I think as we finish 2022 out and going into 2023.
Why would you say that government's going to take a bigger chunk of the pie here, or more loans will be in the government realm?
Well, the conventional loan market will shift from time to time. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac do adjust their guidelines on an ongoing basis. And we have seen in the last 30 to 45 days that they have tightened up lending guidelines. So someone that we could have gotten approved at 3 to 5% down 3 months ago, now we can't.
Right.
And then those buyers are probably very well suited. We're not talking about bad loans here. They're being more sensitive on cash to close, debt to income ratios, and credit scores. Yeah. I took a buyer recently with an almost 700 credit score that I could not get approved conventional, 3 or 5% down. So we took her to FHA. Buyer's happy, seller was okay with it. Realtors understood the situation, and they allowed us to switch financing so that we could get the transaction closed in a timely manner. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac will update their guidelines whenever they feel like it. The government guidelines, because they're, for instance, FHA, VA, and rural development will also update their guidelines. But because they are governed by the government, it usually has to be an act of Congress. So FHA cannot change any guidelines unless it goes through the higher governmental processes. So those guidelines are not as frequent as Fannie Mae just goes, we're changing it. We're updating, desktop underwriter. You're going to see a change on, July 11th. And then we just have to, muddle through it and see what we get approved and what we don't get approved. So I think with the shift in the market, more homes coming on the market, it's giving buyers more opportunity. Hopefully we're going to pull some buyers that have been watching on the sidelines and, that are still able to buy. And government loans are still a great option for people.
Oh, yeah. And as you talk about the changing market, conventional loans, they're great there. But with the higher interest rate environment, when we talk about debt to income ratios, someone may not be able to afford that particular home anymore. So we may shift them into a government mortgage because notoriously we can afford more. Our debt to income ratios can go much higher than a conventional loan.
Correct.
And I've always said there is no bad loan in the world. They're all tools in a toolbox. We just need to teach them how to be a craftsman.
With rents continuing to go up, there's a lot of buyers that are trying to own a home to protect their family from the inflation by becoming a homeowner, believe it or not. And I'm not saying homeownership doesn't have other expenses, of course, but there's, I've seen young people paying $1,800 to $2,000 a month rent, which just a couple years ago would have been unheard of. And if we can get them into a house for less than that, it's a win-win situation.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Or helping them build their credit. Sometimes people don't have super high credit scores, and it's not because they have bad credit. It's because they've just haven't had a credit established for very long. Right. It can take someone a solid 3 to 5 years to establish credit from ground zero. And the problem with young adults today, in some cases, they either know about credit or they don't. And we've talked about this on other episodes, but, we have seen one of our loan officers had a client recently, and he made great money, but had pretty much paid cash for everything. His cell phone bill was in his mother's name. His car insurance was still in his parents' name, and he paid for it, but he had nothing established in his name, including credit, until like the last couple months. And this young man had been working for 2 years solid. So he just didn't think it was important to establish credit. Well, now he wants to buy a house. And now we're dealing with somebody that doesn't have established credit scores. Because even from the first time you open credit, it's going to take 6 months for a minimum score to appear. And it's not going to be the best score because you don't have there's no history there. So that, again, the government loans can sometimes assist with those situations. Government loans are also assumable. And they also have streamlined refinance opportunities that the conventional loans don't always have. So there's a lot of great reasons to consider government lending, and I think we'll see an uptick on that in the next 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, well, it's an incredible market. It's challenging, but yet I see the opportunities are out there.
Yeah,
it's just
still, home prices are still projected to go up, maybe not as fast as they have gone up the last 2 or 3 years, but a little bit more stable market. It's going to be good for everybody. And again, what do we say? Date the rate, marry the house.
Yep. Date
So
the rate.
find the house. We'll help you manage your mortgage and refinance you when rates settle down again. But they're still not bad. I bought my first house at 10.5%. So, we're in the 5 range and, which is still respectable, although obviously it's not where we were 6 months ago. So,
yeah, we don't have the rates of the pandemic, the 3%. But,
yes.
well, it's been a wonderful discussion here. But USA Mortgage has an abundance of product, tools, partner relationships, company ownership. It's just a great place to be.
It is. So here would be my ask. If you are a consumer thinking of buying a house and need a second opinion or are curious about some of these unique programs that we have, certainly give us a call. And if you are a loan officer or even a branch manager that has a branch and you're struggling or feeling the pains of this year and knowing that you're missing something, give me a call. We may have a great opportunity for you to grow.
That would be excellent. And you can reach us. You can go to danielleboote.com or victorbales.com. We'd be happy to talk to anybody. And that's it for this show. And we'll see you next time here on A Smarter Way Home.